guys, it's your pal Cool Josh 24 TV Live Productions with a first reaction video. The video that I'm gonna react to is Llama Arts Scary Field Trip Horror Stories Animated. So let's get to the video in 3, 2, 1, and start.
Back in high school, I took a mysteries and mythology type class, or something like that. I don't remember the name of the class. It basically just had to do with real life mysteries and creepy shit. I was into that kind of stuff. I was
That's
taking a class with a good
interesting.
friend, who I'll call Ben for this story. The teacher of the class took us on a field trip to a nearby abandoned village with an unknown past. The village was built in the early 1900s, but seems as though it had been quickly abandoned shortly after it was built. The bus ride there was about 20 minutes. All of us were glued to the bus windows as we pulled up some sketchy-looking, decrepit road cutting through dense forest. The road eventually led to a clearing. We were there. We stepped out onto the road, which had grass growing through the cracks. The grass surrounding was almost knee-high. Then there were the buildings. The tall, archaic brick buildings with the boarded-up windows all gave off such chilling vibes.
That's suspicious. That the village was built in the early years and all of a sudden they just close it down and it become a abandoned place and scary. That's real suspicious.
The teacher lined all 20 of us up, counted heads, and then began leading the way. The point of this little field trip was to use the so-called skills we learned in class to see if we could put anything together about why the village may have been abandoned so long ago. Some of the buildings had holes in the walls to serve as entry.
That's strange. Some area of the abandoned village has holes where something that could be hidden underground or some stuff. That's so suspicious. Real suspicious.
Ways. There were even holes in the ground next to some of the buildings, seemingly dug to get into the basements of some of the buildings, which seemed creepy. There was one building, though. It stood taller than any of the others. It just intrigued me the most. While the teacher was leading the group towards the village church, Ben and I decided to sneak off on our own to look for anything interesting. When we walked off in the direction of the tallest building, we saw a hole in the ground. It was dug by the back door of the building, which had been sealed off.
That is suspicious. That they found a ladder that is hidden underground all of a sudden. Some ideas that they have was going down to the ground to find something. That is some more expert and interesting.
In the hole was a ladder which led down to the concrete floor below. We both looked at each other and knew we had to do it. Ben climbed down first, then me. Luckily, this was just around the time Apple started putting flashlights on their phones, so we had a source of light. It was creepy down there. There were a couple of
That's suspicious. When they got to underground, all of a sudden, inside was creepy and scary and spooky in the underground area.
beer bottles, one graffiti tag on the wall, and dusty wooden planks everywhere. There was a wooden stairway which led up to complete darkness, since all windows and doors had been sealed shut from above. We had already gone as far as to enter the building, so we figured we'd go up the stairs too. I went first,
Better
and with
keep
each
on
step,
going
the
until
creepiness of the
that
100-year-old wood made me
they
feel as
reach
if I
to
was
their
going to pull through each
destination.
and every step. Ben followed suit. This floor of the building was very tight.
Keep on
It seemed like there
going.
were many openings going off into different, smaller
That is some
rooms.
sort of
It was
suspicious
so dark in there, you would never
thing
even
that they
guess it was
could
daytime.
do.
Ben and I were honestly starting to get creeped out in there and agreed to go back outside. But just then, there was a noise in one of the tiny rooms, like a big rock hitting the concrete floor. A normal instinct would be to run, but Ben and I froze, locked eyes for a moment, then both tiptoed over to the opening of the room. We shined the lights into the room and ran. We ran back down the stairs and then up the rusty ladder back outside. We caught up to the group out of breath. We didn't say anything, though, to avoid getting in trouble. One of our classmates asked us what was wrong. We told him we snuck into one of the buildings, and in one of the rooms, when we shined the light into it, we saw 3 guys standing maybe...
That's insane. That when they went underground, all of a sudden they found 3 people hiding in the underground area. That's so insane. And scary.
10 feet away from the doorway, facing Ben and I in a weird formation, as if they were waiting for us. As we continued following the group, we paid extra attention to the tall building we entered from the distance. And before leaving, we saw a person's face at one of the higher level windows that had not been boarded up.
That's so insane. That they found a person inside of the tower also, then it can be some sort of zombie or monster or other creatures living in there. That's so insane and scary.
We never told the teacher in fear of getting in trouble. We didn't know what to think. Were those just homeless people living in there? Were they gang members in hiding? Ben freaks me out with his theory. He says they were ghosts of the people who once lived in the town. Still, the way the 3 guys were just hauntingly standing there so calmly, staring at us the moment we peeked our heads through that doorway, I still can't get that image out of my head. I may go back to that village one day, just to...
That is some idea that dude could come up with. Go back to the abandoned village to find out what was hidden in there. When his friend found some idea what could be hidden in the abandoned village. That is so suspicious. Even though that place is so creepy and scary.
Prove Ben's idea wrong.
Alright, that's it for the video, guys. If you guys like this video, add a like and comment. Also, turn on notifications for new videos when it comes out to this channel. Please subscribe to this channel, and thanks so much for watching. See you guys next time. Peace out.